Hi, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Hardwood Classics on NBA TV. I'm Matt Weiner. On March 4th, 1992, the Detroit Pistons, led by Hall of Famers Isiah Thomas and Dennis Rodman, hosted Reggie Miller and the Indiana Pacers at the Palace of Auburn Hills. The Worm, Rodman, made history, grabbing a career-high 34 rebounds. Amazingly, 18 were on the offensive end. Let's take a closer look into how Rodman made his impact on the game of basketball.
This could be a very good NBA game. The Pistons hope to benefit from the fact that it's a back-to-back for the Pacers, and it isn't a back-to-back for them. Sally wins the tap to the captain, and the Pistons go to work to the hoop to our left in front of their bench. Woolridge has it, high post on the right against Person. Cutting dotted line is Isiah to the hole, hooking over Dreiling, missing. Rebound Rodman, back out, high post left side to Spider Sally. Way out near the timeline to Joe D with a new shot clock. Dumars against Reggie Miller, interesting matchup there. The bounce, foul line extended left to Isiah, up fake on Williams, comes mid-post, dumps it low inside Woolridge. Orlando with the slam, and the Pistons go up 2-zip.
It's a good way to start, getting Orlando involved on the baseline.
Indiana with two passes and a Person jumper from the left wing that goes, and the quick shooting Pacers have already tied it at 2.
Person's one of those guys, when he comes off a screen, you have to be right up on him because he doesn't take very long to get that jumper off. Has a very quick release.
Pistons to Dumars, wide of the lane, right side. Joe dumps it, mid-post right side to Sally, Spider to the baseline. Now a foul line scoop to Rodman, wide left to Woolridge, 19-footer for the no. Rebound, Dreiling. To Michael Williams, and up he comes, right-handing, left side. Michael topside, wide left to Thompson on a give and go back to Williams, dropped it in the lane, picked up by Dreiling, deep on the right to Miller, shot clock 10 to Dreiling mid-right, powers it up no, tapped up no by Thompson, tapped outside by Dreiling to Miller, back to Dreiling baseline right, way outside to Person, tries for 3, top of the key, no, rebound Rodman.
That was a long 3 by Person. But really with Dreiling, with LaSalle Thompson in there, they got two garbage guys that they don't have to worry about getting offense from them, and they'll get their scoring from Miller, Person, and Williams.
Pistons go to Joe against Reggie Miller right side. Turnaround high glass gun, no from the mid post. Rebound to Tank Thompson. Now Williams way up to Person left wing. Sally's there with him. Screen from Dreiling. Now a dish top of the key, Tank Thompson. You'll leave it there for Michael Williams. Gunning from 20 over the captain, no. Rebound Rodman. 3 boards already, make it 4 for Worm. Isiah bounces mid on the right to Woolridge. Against Person, turning, gunning short. Tap Rodman, no. Pulls it off. Got it in the lane. To the cutter, it's Isiah down the lane of the hole. Missed it. What a whistle.
He got hammered, George, in the face inadvertently, but Dreiling got a good part of that face with his forearm. Isiah's still down on the floor. Cutting down the lane, Dreiling came over. Dreiling's not much of a shot blocker, but he certainly got a lot of Isiah's space that time.
He went over to apologize. Isiah slow to get up. Chuck Daly complaining he wanted a flagrant foul. We'll get a 20-second timeout now. The Pistons want to take a look at Isiah. He was shaken up badly by Dreiling's, I think, hand in the face, not forearm.
You know, George, just a little bit more on Rick Schmitz. You know, he's averaging 15.2 now. Was up around 17, 18 before they sent him back to the bench, but still, as we said before, a fine player off their bench. Of course, as you mentioned, they won't have him tonight. He was listed as probable, but they've made the decision that he will not play. He's missed three in a row now.
And they have no chance to put him in the game. He's in street clothes. Isiah at the line makes the first.
They'll need him down the stretch, believe me, if they're to get into the playoffs and then make any noise once they get there.
See a lot more Dale Davis tonight than normal, although they're bringing along Dale Davis, and the rookie has 2 straight double-figure rebound games. Isiah makes twice. Back come the Pacers. Miller left corner, fall away, and he fills it. What a sweet stroke Reggie Miller has. It's 4-4. The captain right-handing up the right side. Mid-post right to Sally, turning on Dreiling. Jumper from 14, it falls.
Well, you know, John, Sally wants to drive the basketball. Hitting that jumper will help him get some room on his drive, perhaps the next time you get it on the baseline.
Pistons lead him by a deuce. Person right of the lane, driving to the paint on Sally, took him down, offensive foul. Pistons 6, Pacers 4. Isiah with it, left-handing left side against the former Piston, Michael Williams. Mid-post to Sally, trying to bump off Dreiling. Backs into the lane, turns left-hand hook baseline over the hoop. Rebound right side by Person. Ahead to Tank Thompson, sideline left for Williams. Isiah nearly stole it. He did tap it out of bounds.
You know, John Sally, not very adept at throwing the hook with the left hand, but George, if you're going to use it, you have to set yourself up so you can get it off the glass. That gives you a better chance and a better angle. He shot it going for it straight in and got nothing but air.
Michael Williams for the Pacers had it topside, a whistle and a foul away from the ball called by Jess Kersey. Joe Dumars called for the grab. Back to the action. Michael Williams with a new shot clock, dumping it to Dreiling in the lane for the dunk. And we are all square at 6 with 8:18 left in the first.
Fine pass by Williams. He did everything for Dreiling that time, but put it in.
Yeah. Woolridge on the left wing. Clear out. Works Person to the lane. Double team help comes from Thompson. The half hook, no, but a whistle. And LaSalle Thompson helping Person, guilty of the foul. And Orlando will shoot a pair. Mark those calendars for Tuesday, March 24th. That's when Orlando will make a special guest appearance at TGI Fridays in Utica from 7 till 8. TGI Fridays. Everyone looks forward to Friday. Orlando at the stripe, and he makes on the first. Here is the next, and he nailed it. Pistons 8, Pacers 6. We've played 4 in the first. 8 minutes left, first quarter. Little backcourt Piston pressure. Pacers beat it. Williams dishes, left wing Dreiling. Mid-post left to Person, cutting backdoor is Michael Williams. Gets it, nice reverse off the window, and he hit it. We're even at 8. 7:48 left in the first. Dumars up the left side against Reggie Miller. Rocking him with the dribble at the foul line extension. Takes it baseline. Can't shake him. Back on the wing to Isiah. Back sideline left to Joe. Clock at 10. 2 dribbles now. The gun from 21. He got it. 10-8. Pistons by a deuce.
Clear indication that time that you can't stop everything. Joe gave him the base, gave him the drive, and Miller did a good job of getting over, but could not come back and put a hand up on the jumper.
On the other end, the Pistons gang up on Michael Williams. Down he goes. Isiah guilty of the foul. New shot clock for Indiana. Team fouls 2-2. 7:22 left in the first. 10-8 Pistons lead them by a deuce. Michael Williams and Person want to pick and roll left side against Isiah and Dennis Rodman. The screen moves. Person guilty of the offensive foul. That's 2 on Chuck Person.
Now the first one you don't mind because he's aggressive going to the basket with that, and sometimes you pick up the offensive foul. But on those kinds, setting the screen, you really hate to pick those up, especially, George, when it's a player that you need in the game for his offense.
Used his forearm on Isiah and then tried to run him away. Here come the Pistons. Woolridge, baseline drive left, missed the finger roll. Rebound pops away to Michael Williams. Up he comes in traffic, fakes Isiah right, takes him left, blows by him and lays it in. Sweet, sweet move by Michael Williams.
Boy, an amazing burst of speed by him.
10-10, Dumars the other way, falling away and missing it, baseline left. Rebound taken down by Dreiling. To Michael Williams, way inside to Reggie Miller, laying it up and in, and Indiana leads now 12-10.
They're really clicking offensively, George, in their half-court sets. They're getting pretty good motion, and certainly when they run the basketball up the floor with the ball in Williams' hands creating, they're doing a good job.
Pistons will take time out here. 6:23 left first quarter at the Palace. It's the Pacers 10, or the Pacers 12 rather, and the Pistons 10, and this is the Pistons Basketball Network. This is George Blaha with Greg Kelser back at the Palace where the Pistons lead the Pacers 22-19. We have 2:50 left in the first. Greg, you familiar with a comedian named Robin Harris?
Comedian.
Comedian.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Who passed away. One of the funniest guys I've ever heard. I had.
Was on the brink of stardom.
Yeah, I had guys named Keith Stark and John Desmond and Bill Wentworth. Absolutely laughing so hard they were crying in the car on the way back with him. I was having trouble seeing the road.
Yeah,
and I've heard all the jokes before.
Yeah,
4 times.
They're funny each time. You're right. He was tremendous. Died at the young age of 36 of a heart attack.
John Sally at the stripe. He makes and he makes. Pistons 24, Pacers 19. Indiana gets the rookie Dale Davis into the game with Detlef Schrempf, George McLeod, Reggie Miller, and Michael Williams. Michael Williams left wing against Isiah. Shot clock at 5. Now 4. Michael Williams, a long triple. It'll be short. Just does get a little bit of iron. Comes down to Dennis Rodman, who has 9 rebounds here in the first quarter. 2:18 still to go, and at 24-19 Pistons. Sally wide of the lane. Works to the paint against Dale Davis. Doubles on the up fake. Fires no, but he does draw the foul. Dale Davis gets Spider and sends him to the stripe. We'll take 10 here for an ID before he shoots the 2. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Randy Whitman, who was out after knee surgery and was just activated, make it 3 games ago now, checks in for Indiana. At the stripe, Spider Sally. Well, if there ever was a guy who would probably gladly send a little bit of his check to Tree Rollins for the screens he set in Atlanta, it would have to be Randy Whitman.
That was no question about it, and I was about to make the point that since leaving Atlanta, his career has really tailed off.
Well, players like that need the screens, and there aren't a lot of people who can really set a good screen in this league. Sally made 1 of 2. Back the other way. Schrempf missed the hook in the lane. Pistons try the long lob to Isiah, and Michael Williams knocks it out of bounds. Schrempf's hook goes. The Pistons were trying to break after a make. Here's Fleming checking in for Michael Williams. Fleming and McLeod, Davis, Schrempf, and Whitman. Against the Pistons starters. Woolridge takes the inbound feed from Rodman and drives and dunks. Got a great feed in the lane. 1 step and a slam. It's 27-21. Detlef Schrempf, left wing dishing to McLeod, then screening Woolridge for him. McLeod goes baseline, guns off the glass. No, rebound Rodman. To Isiah, back to Worm. He'll bounce it back to Isiah, baseline right. Lost it, knocked out of bounds by Fleming. Shot clock at 17.
Dennis Rodman's on a pace to get 40 rebounds in the game. He has 10 here in the first quarter.
1:26 left in the first. Woolridge replaced by Mark Aguirre. Orlando with 9 gets a hand. Darrell Walker checks in for Dumars. Darrell gets it to Isiah, left wing. A pass in the paint for Aguirre. Slapped out by the Pacers. The shot clock's at 11. Dennis Rodman, baseline left to trigger. Left wing to Isiah. Rainbow over Fleming. Short to McLeod. George McLeod the other way. Left-handing up the right side. Top of the key, Schrempf. Fakes Aguirre right, takes him left, runs up the hook. Baseline left. Lefty, and he hits it.
Now there's a left-handed hook. And I don't know how often Schrempf throws that, but he looked very, very comfortable. And he got nothing but the bottom. Used no backboard.
What an all-around player he has become. There were those who figured he would. This took him a little longer than perhaps people anticipated that it would. NBA Player of the Month for February. That's the kind of month Detlef Schrempf had. Pacers knocked out of bounds on the Pistons. Mark Aguirre gets it. Foul line extended right on the inbound. Misses to Davis. Now Fleming way up to Whitman. Randy Whitman passing for Schrempf. Low post right. Knocked out of bounds by Dennis Rodman. 37 seconds left first quarter. Pistons 27, the Pacers 23. Fleming, right corner Davis, now gets it back right wing. Clock at 14. Top side Schrempf, wide left to Davis. Back on top to Whitman, wing on the right to Fleming. The clock is at 6, mid post right to Schrempf, it's at 5. Walker comes to double team, helping Rodman. Shot short from 18. Rebound Aguirre. No shot clock, 15 seconds to play in the quarter. Isiah walks it lefty up the middle against Fleming. 27-23 Pistons. Now we have 10 seconds. Captain working top of the key. Backs up on Fleming. Now we have 5 seconds. Starts a drive. Now we have 3. Blows by him. Stops and pops off the glass. No, but it's slam tapped by Sally. A split second late, says Jess Kersey.
No, I think they're going to call a foul on Sally. Kersey's saying he went over the back of an Indiana player. It was a fantastic jam that was taken away.
No basket. Foul Sally, the first quarter's history. 27-23 Pistons at the end of one at the Palace on the Pistons Basketball Network. Indiana's basketball to start the second. Pistons lead them by 4. McLeod and Whitman, Fleming and Schrempf and Dale Davis for the Pacers. Davis has it mid-right. Sideline right to Detlef Schrempf. Lambier's checked in. He's checking Detlef. Here's a 22-foot rainbow that goes.
You can't check him, George. Schrempf has the outside shooting ability and can also take it to the basket, and especially when you consider that Lambert has the damaged calf, it's going to be a tough matchup for him.
Pistons try to go to Isiah, sideline left, and Fleming knocks it off Isiah out of bounds. 2-point game now. On the floor for the Pistons, Isiah, Darrell Walker, Mark Aguirre, Dennis Rodman, and Bill Lambert. Worm had 5 points, 10 rebounds first quarter. Now Schrempf's against Rodman topside. Screen switch, and McLeod has it. Wing on the right to Whitman, back on top. Detlef Schrempf, again a screen and switch. Aguirre against Detlef. Detlef runs him dotted line. Guns on the run, he got it. Man, that was a tough shot.
It sure was. You certainly cannot fault the defense on that particular play. If a guy can make a shot like that, then hey, so be it.
27-27, the Pacers have tied the game. 10:47 left in the half. A 6-0 run for Indiana. The Pistons in the lane to Aguirre. The fall away from 10. No, but it's out of bounds off Indiana. Shot clock at 7. Dennis Rodman from the left baseline. Left corners to Lambert. Bounce low left side to Aguirre. Knocked out of bounds by Schrempf. But the shot clock now is at 3. Rodman to Isiah. Left corner forcing with the clock running out. No. Rebound snatched off by Walker. Right corner Rodman tries for 3. Won't go through. Rebound to Davis. Now Whitman. Whitman top of the key to Davis. Now left corner McLeod. Gunning from 22. In and out to Bill Lambert. And Billy is banged and he is fouled by Detlef Schrempf. Chuck Daly puts Joe Dumars into the game for Isiah, and Brad Sellers is about to check in.
You know, one thing Lambert can do despite the soreness in his leg is rebound. He never jumps on his rebounds, or maybe when he does get off the ground, that is, George, you can see a little space underneath his feet, but he gets great position, so he can effectively rebound.
Yeah, but he did there. Pistons drive Darrell Walker, firing no, rebound Schrempf. Way up to Whitman on the left baseline, lost it, picked up in the lane by Aguirre, head to Joe D. Again, Schrempf to the hoop, blocked by Schrempf, pulled off by Aguirre, following it up off the window, and he fills it up. Good job by Mark Aguirre. Pistons by a deuce, 29-27. Fleming the other way, stopping, popping right wing, doesn't get it, gets his own rebound, sticks it back from the lane, no. Rebound McLeod, right of the lane. Inside dish to Davis, who powers it up and in. Nice pass. Sellers, Lambert, Aguirre, Walker, and Dumars for the Pistons, who will take a timeout. 9:29 till halftime at the Palace. The Pistons and Pacers are tied at 29. Wild game at the Palace. Joe Dumars was hurt right before the timeout. Got a shot blocked by Detlef Schrempf. Mark Aguirre got a stick back. The action went fast and furious the other way, where Dale Davis scored. Dumars never joined the fray and stayed on the floor. And he is still being looked after by trainer Mike Abdenauer. It's the right ankle or right foot, Greg, it appears.
Well, you know, with the way Detroit is trying to right themselves right now. Certainly they can ill afford any injuries, especially to key personnel like Joe Dumars.
Isaiah's back in the game, gunning off the high glass right of the lane. He got it. 31-29 Pistons, 9:15 to play in the half. Dale Davis, high post left side, comes foul line, shovels the hand off to Fleming, knocked away from behind by Walker to Isiah, back to Darrell. Darrell by himself driving and dunking, and the Pistons go up 4.
Poetic justice. Walker getting the finish. He certainly created the steal. He flicked the ball away from Williams right to Isiah, and Isiah gave it him streaking to the basket.
Indiana to Detlef Schrempf, left corner. Aguirre up in his face, shot clock 10. Now he'll turn it and keep the dribble. Comes to the foul line, dishes right wing Whitman. Top side of Detlef, shot clock 5, now 4, forcing a triple. Going to be an air ball wide right to Lambier. The give to Isiah. Up the left side, Isiah against Fleming. Left corner to Aguirre, gunning from 18. No, it's off the heel. Whitman rebounds. Midcourt, left side to Fleming. Fleming, a stop and go move on Walker. Penetration and a dish top side to McLeod, trying for 3 wide left. A brick off the iron to Walker. Darrell Walker in a crowd, 1 against 3. Switches it right to left and lays it in.
And the Pacers offense has really looked ragged the last 2 times down. They're not getting any movement right now. And their shots that they're taking are forced. And the Pistons are limiting them to but that 1 shot.
Fleming right of the lane. Fleming against Isiah. Turning dotted line. Try to dish it deep. Ball knocked away. He'll get it back. Inside to Davis, and Davis powers it up and in. Well, they don't have a starter on the floor. And it has been a struggle to score for the Pacers, but they're only down 4. Isiah left wing for the Pistons. Takes it baseline left. The bounce to Lambier, top of the key Sellers by himself. 19-footer, knocks it down. Pistons by 6. Detlef Schrempf, top side for Indiana. Left wing to Fleming, near steal by Isiah. Fleming steps up, can't penetrate. Sellers comes to help. Top of the key Schrempf, right corner Whitman. 19-footer short, comes off the iron though to Detlef Schrempf. A new clock, right corner Davis. Top side Fleming. Fleming against Sellers. Mid post right to Detlef Schrempf. Now Sellers jumps over to Schrempf. Left corner dish to McLeod, a show and go on Aguirre, but Lambier comes, took a charge, didn't get a call. Pass goes top side to Schrempf. He'll miss it. Rebound, Dale Davis.
That's a tough break because the Pistons had played 24 seconds of defense. They couldn't get the rebound, George. Now they've got to stay down and play even more defense. That can wear a team down.
Shot clock is at 10. Detlef Schrempf, low inside left. Hooks, hits. He wheeled first and got some help on the hook from the iron, but he has 10, and Indiana's within 4. 37-33. Basketball knocked out by Indiana as the Pistons set up, and McLeod and Whitman will come out. Reggie Miller and Person check in. Chuck Daly takes Brad Sellers out, puts Dennis Rodman in. Darrell Walker has it foul line. Starts the drive, won the dish of baseline right to Aguirre. Ball loose, picked up by Lambier inside, try to power it up, no, try to tip it up, no, and then it's tapped out of bounds by Indiana. New clock for the Pistons. Dennis Rodman to trigger left baseline. 6:07 left in the half. Worm bounces it in the lane to Isiah against Fleming, and Isiah is held and fouled by Fleming. A fresh 24 one more time. Rodman triggers sideline right. Wing on the right to Walker. Takes it top side against Miller. Left wing to Isiah against Fleming. Low post to Aguirre. Turning to the lane. Hooking on the run. No. Lambier keeps it alive, but Davis pulls it down to Miller. Reggie Miller up the left side. Right-hand dribble. Bounces it forecourt sideline right to Person. Inside for Schrempf. Great knockaway by Aguirre to Rodman to Isiah. Lost it. It's loose. Darrell Walker has it left wing. Pistons lead them by 4, and they have it 5:35 till halftime. Darrell Walker topside. Lambier screens. Walker has Person with him right wing. He fires from 19 short to Aguirre. Sending it back up and scoring it is Mark Aguirre.
Mark Aguirre doing it on both ends. He made the fantastic steal and save a moment ago and then came back and got the nice offensive rebound and put back.
Fleming, though, right back to the iron, took it down the lane on Lambier and laid it in.
Both things that Aguirre was able to do required a lot of hustle, and he certainly came up with it big on both ends that time.
I agree. Here's Mark, foul line extended left. Top side Isiah, fakes it, dumps it mid-post right to Lambier. Turning, gunning on Person from 15, no. Rebound out of bounds off Dale Davis.
Dale Davis could not get that rebound because the Pistons' best rebounder overall was there, and their best rebounding guard, Darrell Walker, was there. Davis really doing a good job to flick it out of bounds and keep the Pistons from getting a layup.
Sally for Lambier, Woolridge for Aguirre. Rodman to Isiah, left corner against Michael Williams, who's back for Indiana for Fleming. And Isiah lost it, bothered by Williams on top, and it's out of bounds to Indiana. Now Joe Dumars is back in the game for Darrell Walker. That's great news. There was no way of telling how serious Joe's injury was, but now you know. Miller, baseline left to Tank Thompson, who's back for Indiana, and Tank Thompson sticks it from 16. Pistons by just a deuce, 39-37, 4:27 left in the half. Joe D up the middle against Reggie Miller. Shot clock at 12. Wide left to Isiah. Cuts to the lane. Shot blocked by Thompson, but a whistle and a foul. It's on LaSalle Thompson. 3 on Tank Thompson. The Pistons and Palace want to thank the Pontiac Osteopathic Hospital for providing on-site first aid service at the Palace. Pontiac Osteopathic Hospital, always there when you need them. Indiana's first trip to the line. Still to come. Meantime, Isiah's at the stripe, makes the first. Pistons are 10 for 12. Isiah missed the next. Rebound Schremp. Schremp, Thompson, Williams, Miller, and Person, the Indiana starters on the floor. Pistons lead by 3. Person, baseline right, 18-footer, hits it. Dumars, Isiah, Sally, Rodman, and Woolridge, the Pistons starters on the floor. Pistons lead them 40-39. Charlie Vincent, fine free press columnist, will be our halftime guest. Rodman gets it foul line, bouncing right corner for Isiah, and Williams knocks it away off Isiah, out of bounds.
You know, George, sometimes you hear me say the players ought to let the offense come to them, and there are certain players that really need to concentrate on that at all times, and I think Chuck Person is one. He hit a jumper a moment ago, looked very good in doing it, looked very comfortable doing it. It's when he tries to rush things and force things that aren't there that he gets himself and the Pacers in trouble.
That left Schremp trying to post up Woolridge. A lob inside is swiped by the Pistons. Orlando Woolridge spinning to the lane. 10-foot fall away, wide right, tap Rodman, no. Rebound, Tank Thompson to Michael Williams. Williams right-handing up the right side. Top of the key, Thompson, left wing Person, screen from Reggie Miller, 21-footer, no. Rebound Rodman, great football feed, way up to Sally for the slam. Great pass by Worm. And a Spider Sally slam puts the Pistons up 3.
You know, I wonder why more players don't do that. I remember when I used to play and rebound, my first look was up the floor, especially when I was playing with Seattle with a guy named Gus Williams.
Oh, sure. Timeout, Indiana. Technical foul, Reggie Miller. Upset about the turn of events here. 2:55 left in the half. Pistons 42, Pacers 39. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. Guests on our broadcast get a complimentary midweek ski package for 2 at Treetops Sylvan Resort. Making the technical foul free throw on Miller was Joe Dumars. Pistons lead 43-39. Person left of the lane comes to the paint, and he is tripped and fouled by Darrell Walker. 11 fouls on Indiana, just 4 on the Pistons. Pacers not at all happy with that kind of whistle. Michael Williams, top of the key against Darrell Walker with a new shot clock. Williams still with it. The clock is down to 10. Right wing Miller, screen from Thompson. Sally switches to Miller and shoves him baseline. Spider will get the whistle from Ronnie Nunn and the foul.
Williams was forced to keep the ball a long time because they really wanted to get Reggie Miller on that play, but Dumars was playing super defense and would not allow him to get free. However, Indiana remained very patient, and if you're an offensive player trying to get open, it's real nice to know that your team will wait and allow you time to work yourself free.
Sally's foul, his second. Chuck Daly plays it safe, substitutes Bill Lambier. Miller left wing against Joe. Wide left to Person, bumps on Aguirre. Bouncing in the paint to Thompson, got him deep by himself, blew the bunny. And the rebound is out of bounds off Bill Lambier. Two and 10 left in the half. Pistons 43, Pacers 39. Inbound feed Person, left corner for the Rainbow. No. Rebound Woolridge. Lambier kept it alive for Orlando. Here's Walker right-handing up the middle. High screen from Lambier and Michael Williams. Darrell to the hole, lays it up, lays it in. Great execution. Pistons by 6, 45-39. Williams the other way, left side. Top side to Thompson. Deep to Detlef Schrempf. Great low position. He hooks and he hits. A dozen for Detlef.
You know, sometimes you forget that Detlef Schrempf is 6 feet 9 inches tall. And when he gets the basketball inside against an Orlando Warriors that deep, he can be very, very effective.
Yes. Dumars lobbing to Aguirre in the post two-time, Person and Schrempf. So he'll wheel back to the dotted line, dish it topside of Lambier. Pass deep for Walker, swipe by Person. Restolen by Darrell to Woolridge for the dunk. What a play! 47-41 Pistons.
Gerald Walker is fired up, and he's putting a spark in this Piston team right now with his hustle.
Thompson left wing for Indiana. Guns from 18. Doesn't get it. Chased the rebound down and saved it. Sideline left. Outside to Michael Williams. Williams now left wing. Person wants to screen Walker for it. Michael heads for the baseline. Now cuts back. Uses that screen. Takes it to the corner now. Fires from 18. No. Rebound Lambier to Joe D. Dumars right-handing left side. Ahead to Aguirre. Knocked out of bounds by Michael Williams. 40 seconds left in the half. Stay tuned. We'll talk with Charlie Vincent from the Free Press at the intermission. Mark Aguirre to Lambier. Back to Walker now topside. Darrell Walker wing on the right to Joe. Mid-post bounce to Woolridge. Turning dotted line. The jump stop and the gun. Got it. Off the heel, off the iron. It finally fell. Pistons lead them 49-41. Excellent hustle in the last couple of minutes. And they've built an 8-point lead with 22 seconds to play in the half. Michael Williams between the rings against Walker. Indiana shot clock now at 8. 13 seconds left in the half. Wing on the right to Miller against Joe. Takes him top of the key, tries to turn and gun it, can't. Walker trying to knock it away, and a whistle just before the shot clock ran out. Foul Darrell.
Darrell Walker very nearly came away with yet another steal. However, now with the foul, Indiana gets the ball, and they'll have the last shot of the quarter. 6 seconds to go.
Person from the left sideline. Six seconds left in the half. Pick up a collector's folder to keep those limited edition Pistons NBA hoop cards in mint condition. Only at your participating Unical 76 stations. Now they got 6.6 up on the clock after a discussion. With honest Mickey Evans, the Pistons timekeeper. They'll go to Schrempf, foul line. He guns, he got it with 3 seconds left in the half. And Davis intercepts Walker's inbounds pass in the lane. 1.5 seconds left, and Darrell Walker fouls him.
Gerald really wanted to make something happen for the Pistons with 3.2 to go. Problem was, George, he stood out of bounds, telegraphed his pass. It was great anticipation defensively by Davis. Davis comes up with the steal, the foul, and he has a chance to cut the Pistons' lead to 4 points.
It's 49-43 Pistons with 1.4 seconds to play in the half. Dale Davis with the first free throw, and it falls. He has 5 points, 4 rebounds. And that steal.
Hasn't missed a shot. He's 2 for 2 from the field, and obviously a disciplined rookie when he comes in the game. How often do you look at a rookie that doesn't get much time? You look at his field goal percentage and see that he's shooting over 50%. Dale Davis at 51.
He makes things happen for Indiana.
His free throw's not much better, 55.
Well, he made 2. 49-45. Lob ahead to Woolridge. Top side gun at the horn. No, nearly a triple. In and out. At the half, it's the Pistons 49. The Pacers 45. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Dale Davis for Dreiling for Indiana. They have Williams and Miller and McLeod, and Davis and Detlef Schrempf. Mark Aguirre about to check in for the Pistons.
Chuck, seeing that Orlando is obviously struggling and maybe even pressing a bit now, decides that he maybe should put Mark Aguirre into the game and give him a chance to settle things down just a bit. Maybe get his own offense going.
Orlando unties it as he makes the first. He nailed the next. Pistons 58, Pacers 56. Indiana won in Chicago last night. Detlef Schrempf gets it from Williams. Top side pop drops for Detlef Schrempf. He has 16. Williams set him up just right. We're tied at 58. 5:55 left in the third. Dumar's up the left side against Miller. Top side bounce to Isiah against Michael Williams. Fakes him right, takes him left. Spins him dotted line. The turnaround gun goes. That was a tough shot. Williams stayed in his face, but the captain drilled it anyway. 60-58. Pistons by a deuce. 5:35 to play in the third. Michael Williams against Isiah, baseline left. Isiah keeps him right in front of him. Williams backs off to the wing. Guns from there, got it from there, hits the deck, and a whistle. And a help out foul called against Orlando Woolridge. Count the basket.
That was very nearly a call on Isiah, which would have been his 4th personal.
Now Woolridge sits down in favor of Aguirre. Reggie Miller got a technical foul complaining about no calls for Indiana. Since then, the Pistons have had 11 fouls and the Pacers been whistled for just 4. Before the tech, it was 11-3 the other way. Pistons come the other way. Isiah down the lane, missed the left-hand scoop. Rebound pulled down by Rodman for Isiah, left corner against McLeod. Takes it sideline left against George. Dishes to Sally in the post against Davis, cutting down the lane. Aguirre gets it, lays it up, and lays it in a finger roll. 62-61.
That's why it's always good to move without the basketball. Make your cuts, even if the pass doesn't come. Get out and maybe come back. Mark Aguirre moved well that time, and Sally spotted him with a nice bounce pass for a layup.
Michael Williams, top side for Indiana. They're down 1. To Detlef Schrempf, foul line extended left. Comes foul line. Line side, steal by Isiah. By himself. He'll lay it up and lay it in. Isiah drops the money.
He seems to be pumped up a little bit the last 2 Piston plays.
Well, he picked a pocket there, and the Pistons have a 3-point lead. 64-61.
It was almost as if someone turned the switch on. The last 2 Piston plays, and Isiah has really been aggressive.
Michael Williams on the deck and driving. And he is bumped and fouled by John Sally, says Bill Spooner. John will come out. That's 4, and Bill Lambier will replace him. Our Frito-Lay Piston pal of the game tonight, Randall Kraft from up in Alpena. He'll get 4 tickets to a future Pistons home game. Congratulations, Randall. Michael Williams at the line makes. 64-62. The Pistons lead the Pacers by a deuce. Williams gets another. 1-point game. Michael Williams with 15. 9 here in the quarter. He is 5 out of 5 at the line. Dumars bounces left wing for the captain against Williams. Step up 19-footer. Got it. Got iron, then the top of the glass, and it fell down and through. Indiana trying to break, though. Williams to Davis, drives and dunks. Heck of a pass.
They keep you off balance because sometimes they'll walk the ball up the floor. And then sometimes, George, after the Pistons make a basket, Indiana looks to run very hard. That time they got it down, got it to Davis, and he finished with a dunk. A very quick early opportunity for the Pacers.
Isiah trying to cut baseline on Michael Williams is grabbed twice, and finally they'll whistle the foul on Michael Williams.
Isaiah's really starting to look for his own offense here.
3:42 left in the third. The captain at the line. The biggest names in rock are here at the Palace. The 21st and 22nd, Bryan Adams. The 23rd and 24th, Grateful Dead. April 3rd and 4th, the rescheduled dates for Van Halen, Guns N' Roses, April 13th and 14th. Two of Bill Lambier's favorite groups are in here. Grateful Dead and Guns N' Roses. Isiah makes twice and has 19. 12 here in the third. McLeod right wing for Indiana against the Worm. Detlef Schrempf posting Aguirre. Gets it low on the right. Comes across the lane. 3-time there. Left corner Miller. Foul line Williams. Wing on the right. McLeod by himself and he buries it.
Well, they forced the Pistons to have to rotate, and they made the extra pass and got a free jump shot. That's how you play the game.
Isiah working Michael Williams right of the lane. Detlef Schrempf comes to double, now backs away. Now comes back to double, and he didn't squeeze the double team, and they're going to call an illegal defense on Detlef Schrempf. Lakers used to fake the double team just to get themselves in a zone defense that they liked. Plus that rule. Isiah left wing. Ball knocked away by Michael Williams to Reggie Miller. Pistons didn't get much of that new clock at all. To Detlef Schrempf down the lane. Knocked away from behind by Bill Lambier, but a foul. Been a tough one. Timeout. 2:53 left in the third. The Pistons by just one over Indiana. It's 68-67 at the Palace. 69-68 Indiana. Isiah and Joe, Mark Aguirre, Rodman and Lambier. Mark gets it, high post right side. Working against Person, turns to the lane, 14-footer won't fall. Rebound, Detlef Schrempf. 9 boards for Schrempf. He right hands up the middle, leaves it there for Michael Williams, top of the key. High post right side of Davis, bounce top side of Person, wing on the right to Detlef Schrempf. Sideline right to McLeod against Joe. George McLeod, hands back right wing to Detlef Schrempf. Schrempf against Aguirre. Lost the dribble, dishes deep to Person. A long triple, shot clock running out, and he hit it about 5 steps behind the three-point line at least.
Whew, that was a long bomb, and it looked good from the moment it left his hand. He had to force that one, though, because he was trying to beat the shot clock. And I don't think he minded at all.
Isiah for the Pistons, baseline left, gunning, doesn't get it. Scramble for the rebound. Detlef Schrempf comes away with it ahead to Michael Williams. Williams stops and pops foul line. He got it. Meantime, Detlef Schrempf tumbled out of bounds with some help from Mark Aguirre. 74-68 Indiana. Pistons go to Mark, sideline right. Baseline move on Davis. Pass in the paint to Rodman, back right corner to Aguirre, has to save it on the sideline and can't. Now he finally does, but Michael Williams has it, and Williams loses it out of bounds. Bill Lambier replaced by Orlando Woolridge. 1:23 left in the third. Indiana 74, Pistons 68. Indiana has scored 9 straight points. Joe D left wing, gunning over McLeod. It rims out to Detlef Schrempf. Ahead to Michael Williams. Williams stops and pops. Foul line extended right. It doesn't drop. Rebound Rodman. Pistons dodged a bullet. He got a clear shot. A minute left in the third. Indiana by 6. They have scored 9 straight. Joe D, top of the key. Wing on the right to Worm. Bounces top side to Aguirre. Deep left to Isiah. On top to Woolridge. Clock at 4. Now 3. Joe D, right wing. Tries for 3. It's through! A Dumars triple. And did the Pistons ever need that?
And McLeod was right there in his face. Got a hand up. Joe, more than equal to the task that time.
Person for the Pacers, mid-left against Woolridge. Turns dotted line, jump hooks, no. Rebound Aguirre, and traveling's gonna be called on Mark. Oh, he was double teamed in there by Davis and McLeod and pushed down, but they'll call it a walk. He stays on the floor long enough to let the officials know what he thought of the call. 27 seconds left in the third. Pacers 74, Pistons 71. New shot clock for Indiana. McLeod on top to Fleming, who was resting Michael Williams. Vern Fleming works against Isiah. 3-second difference. Shot clock to quarter clock. Shot clock now at 10. Fleming still on top. Wide left to Person. The clock's at 5. Aguirre shoves him out. Person twists, leans, guns. No. Rebound Rodman. In backcourt, the ball slapped out. It's off Worm. And Indiana will get it. 2.1 seconds left in the quarter. Dennis Rodman did get the board. That's number 20, and we're still in the third. Person for Indiana, deep on the right at the horn for 3. No, he got iron, no net. At the end of 3 at the Palace. It's Indiana 74 and the Pistons 71. We'll start the fourth now. Isiah, high post left side to Woolridge. Turns it, dotted line, half hooks, no. Tap Rodman, no. Another tap Worm, no. Woolridge rips it off, brings it down, tries to jack it up, draws the foul. Dennis Rodman comes to congratulate Orlando. Those two worked the boards like they owned them.
They sure did, and I mean Orlando, first of all, Rodman kept it alive with 2 taps, one of which had a good chance of going in, but then Orlando Woolridge really skied for that the third offensive rebound, and all the Pacers could do was grab his arm to keep him from getting a 3-point opportunity.
Orlando at the line, and he hits it. Fouls on Schrempf, his second. Orlando makes twice.
Has 18 points.
Even though he's 5 out of 15 from the floor.
I was about to say, but he's getting to the free throw line where he's 8 of 10.
Indiana to Chuck Person, wing on the right. Baseline right to Schrempf, knocked away by Woolridge. Indiana led it by 3. As we began the fourth, they closed the third with a 9-3 run. It's now 74-73 Pacers. Only a minute into the fourth. A lob in the lane to Davis, hooking, hitting over Rodman, but he cha-cha'd first, says Ronnie Nunn. Isiah, left-handing up the right side against Fleming for the Pistons. To the lane, no look dish, low inside to Woolridge. Orlando laid it up and in over Schrempf, and there was body contact. He scored anyway, didn't get the whistle. Pistons have scored 7 straight. And lead by 1. Fleming, Person, Schrempf, McLeod, and Davis for Indiana. McLeod inside the Detlef Schrempf, hooks, misses. Detlef Schrempf got it right in the chops. Rebound Rodman. 23, Dennis Rodman rebounds. Isiah against Fleming on the right wing. Leaves it there for Aguirre. Mark turns, guns no from 18. Rebound McLeod. Ahead to Fleming, way up to Detlef Schrempf to the hoop on Worm. Got it blocked through the foul.
I think they were going to call that regardless that time because, as you said, on the last play, Schrempf got hit in the face on his shot. No call. This time he went back to the hole aggressively, and he got the call. It was a foul, but you know, George, I think the officials appreciating the fact that he didn't complain, didn't cause a fuss when they missed that first call.
The second Piston Fantasy Camp set for April 10th through the 15th at the Palace and at the Bradley Center. As a member of the fantasy team, you get a real Pistons uniform, attend workouts and post-game parties. Hit the road with the team and with Coach Greg Kelser. Play on real NBA courts and much, much more. It's a great time. Reservations are limited. Call right now, 313, or tomorrow I should say, 313-353-5643 during regular business hours. Detlef Schrempf got them both. Indiana by 1, 76-75. 10:14 to go. Joe D, top of the key, got it from Isiah. The rainbow, no. Rebound, Person. Ahead to Vern Fleming. Fleming right-handing up the right side. Sideline right to McLeod. Cutting in the lane is Schrempf. Got the pass, didn't hold it. He was double-teamed. Mark Aguirre and Worm broke his concentration. 9:50 to go. Indiana by 1. The Pistons have it at 76-75. Pacers at the Palace. Dumars topside against McLeod. Can't shake him with a Woolridge screen. Goes right wing. Dishes back topside of the O. Driving. Now no look. Dishing left corner to Aguirre is Woolridge. Mark sends it. Mark scores it. Pistons by 1. 76-75. Good game. Fleming left wing for Indiana against Isiah. Top side to McLeod. Mid-post lob left side of Fleming. Fleming turning, gunning over Isiah. Doesn't get it. Rebound, out of bounds, off Davis. And the Pistons have it in a 1-point lead. Fleming bothers Isiah. Not much, though. The captain right-handing right side. Has it topside. Dishes to Dumars, cutting foul line. Now the deep dish to Aguirre. Right wing goes baseline. Fires from 17. Won't fall. Rebound, Dale Davis. Davis ahead to McLeod. Now to Fleming. Vern Fleming buying time for the resting Michael Williams. Dishes to Detlef Schrempf. Sideline right. Baseline right, Fleming. Good feed inside to Person. It's up, it's in, and a whistle and a foul. Dennis Rodman with the foul. That is 3 on Worm, and Michael Williams replaces Vern Fleming.
Now, of course, with Williams back in the game, you have to be aware and concerned about Indiana's push up the court, especially after made free throws or field goals by the Pistons. They're a much better running team with Williams on the floor.
Person missed it. Pacers by 1. 8.5 to go in the game. Joe D sideline left against McLeod. Pistons to the hoop to our right in front of Indiana's bench. Pick and roll. Screen from Woolridge. Dish back deep to Orlando. Doesn't get it, but Rodman tapped it in.
He got a fingertip on it.
Pistons 79, Pacers 78, and Michael Williams called for a travel as he's bothered by Isiah, forecourt right wing. Pistons 79, Pacers 78. Pistons with a 1-point lead and with it. Joe D left wing. Woolridge comes to screen McLeod. And we're going to get a Detlef Schrempf foul, trying to shove his way. Past the pick. Team fouls 2-2. Detlef's third. Isiah gets that Woolridge screen left side, doesn't use it. Instead goes baseline left. The shot blocked by Dale Davis, but goaltending. Count it. 21 for Isiah. The Pistons 81. The Pacers 78.
What a quick first step of Isiah that time. Completely baffling Williams. He left him in his tracks and got the layup.
Indiana will take timeout. 7:47 to go in the game. Pistons 81, Pacers 78. Dennis Rodman has broken one record. He has 14 offensive rebounds, breaking a mark set by Earl Williams in 1976. In January at Boston, Earl Williams had 13 offensive boards against the Celtics on that date, the last year before I started doing the Pistons. Earl Williams, by the way, from Winston-Salem State. He also played for Big House Gaines, as did Earl Monroe. Back to this one, though. Pistons 88, Pacers 82. Williams right of the lane, 18-foot gun won't go. Dale Davis skying over Aguirre, couldn't hang on to the rebound. And Dale Davis gets the loose ball foul. Ivan 17 to go. Dennis Rodman has 28 rebounds. Bob Lanier's single game all-time Piston mark is 33. Isiah right-handing right side against Williams. Inside to Sally, up to try and jam it, and he's hammered. That's going to be a flagrant foul. Dale Davis took him down by the neck and threw him to the floor. Spider will get 2 free throws, and the Pistons will get the ball.
Another fine pass by Isiah Thomas. Really making good decisions tonight with the basketball, knowing when to take his own shot, when to look for his own drive, and also when to pass off to open teammates.
Spider at the line will shoot 2. Makes the first. You can play on the Pistons' home court. If you're between 6 and 12, win name brand athletic shoes worth up to $50 and sport gift bags, compliments of K-Swiss and Avia. Contest details and entry forms at any Michigan Dunham store. No purchase necessary. John Sally set to send the second. Pistons by 7, 5:08 to go. He sends it, he scores it. Well, the hard takedown by Davis didn't leave Spider so shook up he couldn't stroke those 2 free throws. They'll stay in the game, too. Pistons with it in a new shot clock after the flagrant foul. Now it's 90-82, 5 minutes to go. Joe D, deep right wing. Gets an Aguirre screen. Dishes to Isiah, though, foul line. Leaning left-hand scoop, no. Sally follows with a jam. It pops out. Doesn't go. Davis to Williams to Schremp. That left Schremp against Aguirre. Behind the back dish, low post to Williams. Inside to Davis for the dunk. 90-84, 4:34 to go. The Pistons by 6 and with it.
That was a 4-point swing for the Pistons, or for Indiana, their favor anyway. It could have been a Piston 10-point lead had Sally been able to put the dunk down.
Sally screens for Dumars. Joe comes foul line. Right corner dish to Aguirre. Tries for 3. Won't go through. Rebound tapped out, controlled by Michael Williams. Loose ball foul. In the meantime, whistled on Spider Sally. That's 5. 4:15 to go. Pistons 90, Pacers 84. Orlando Woolridge for Sally with Aguirre and Rodman, Isiah and Joe. Michael Williams against Isiah, deep right wing. Top side of Person on the deck, drives down the left side, guns on the run up the glass, no, but Dale Davis sticks it back and scores it.
Dale Davis is having himself a pretty good game here. 5 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. He has 7 rebounds to go along with his 12 points.
He's a force. Remember, he missed all of training camp, all the preseason, and part of the early regular season before signing. 3:38 to go. Joe D, top of the key. Pistons by just 4. To Isiah, deep right wing against Williams. Mid-post bounce to Aguirre. Turning, gunning over Davis. Doesn't get it from 12. Woolridge rebounds, but a loose ball foul. It's on Orlando. Jess Kersey with a call. That's 3 on the O. And the Pistons' 4th team foul. Indiana's in the penalty. 3.5 to go in the game. Pistons 90, Pacers 86.
And seemingly for a moment, Indiana has figured out a way to keep Dennis Rodman off the glass. I mean, for a while there, he was getting his hands on everything that came off.
Indiana goes to Person against Woolridge, left of the lane. Backs him, now spins him baseline, takes an extra step, but misses the fall away. But traveling's called. They call the walk. The Pistons get the ball. 3:14 to go. And they'll take timeout. Pistons 90, Pacers 86 at the Palace. Timeout. White Castle and the Pistons looking for kids 14 and under who want to be an honorary ball boy or ball girl. You get free tickets, an autographed basketball, and more. Visit any of the 25 White Castle restaurants to sign up. No purchase necessary. Isiah deep right wing for the Pistons. Guns, he got it! Pistons 92, Pacers 86. Just under 3 minutes left. Dennis Rodman now listed officially with 29 rebounds. 4 more and he is tied Bob Lanier's Pistons single game mark. Miller left wing, top side to Person, illegal defense against the Pistons called by Ronnie Nunn. Chuck Person to trigger for the Pacers with a new clock. That was the first zone warning. Person to Michael Williams. Williams cuts in the lane on Isiah to the hole, pushed on the way, fouled. That's 4. And that'll get Michael Williams, a good free throw shooter, to the line. He is 5 for 5 from the stripe tonight. The Ice Capades here for 10 shows next Tuesday the 10th through Sunday the 15th.
Tell you, Isiah's had a very, very good game, but he's had one tough time with Michael Williams. Michael Williams has 21 points now. He too has done a good job of giving the basketball off to his teammates as he nails 2 more free throws and also getting his own offense.
92-88 on 2 makes by Michael Williams. 2:38 to go. Here comes Isiah against Reggie Miller. Up the left side. Isiah dishes to Woolridge, right of the lane, to the dotted line. Guns from there, got it blocked. Traveling's going to be called. .25 left. Pacers basketball. Pistons by 4. 92-88 at the Palace. Williams against Isiah left wing. Michael Williams gets a Person screen. Woolridge switches back to Person against Zeke in the post. Back to Williams sideline. Inside to Person. Turnaround 10-foot Glasser good by Chuck Person. Made perfect use of the mismatch.
It certainly was, and Person kept it out of Isiah's way, would not allow him to get the low strip, and was able to get it off the glass. Indiana's right in this game. It's 2 points.
Good thought to give it up and get it right back. 92-90 Pistons. 1:54 to go. Isiah against Miller. Lost the dribble left wing. Miller digs it away. Isiah gets it back in the lane. Now Shrimp steals. Oh, that's a tough turnaround there. 1:40 left. Williams up the left side. Works Isiah on the wing. Dumps it to Person, baseline left. He'll finger roll and fill it.
2 very good 2-man plays. They call that 2-man basketball. You clear the side and you let 2 people play 2 against 2. And that time Williams and Person worked it to perfection again.
1:20 to go. 92-92. Dumar's right wing. Top of the key, Woolridge. Stolen by Michael Williams. He blindsides him. Williams against Dumars to the hole. Lays it up and in. Indiana by a deuce. They have scored 6 straight. 1:08 to go. And now the Pistons will take timeout. Pistons score 100 during regulation time at home and they win. Ticket stubs for reserve seats. Good for half off. Any pizza at any one of the 5 Metro Detroit Buddies pizza restaurants. 120 or more during regulation means free pizza. Pistons will have to hustle now. Down to 1:05 to go. Rodman from midcourt. To Dumars on top against Williams. Indiana by a deuce. Isiah being played by Reggie Miller, comes to take the handoff. Takes it baseline right, leans inside and stepped out of bounds.
Well, he was double teamed that time by Miller, by Person. Had very little room to maneuver. And Ronnie Nunn right there on the play says he stepped out of bounds, but George, the Pistons still have plenty of time, but they got to come up with a good defensive stop here.
Isiah and Joe have gone all the way in the second half in the backcourt. Isiah working now against Michael Williams. Indiana has the Pistons down a deuce, 40 seconds to go. Person screens the captain. Isiah fights through it. The dish deep on the right to Reggie Miller. Tries for 3. Won't go through. Detlef Schrempf had the rebound, but fell out of bounds. Basketball belongs to the Pistons. 31.6 seconds to go.
I think the Pistons are very fortunate that Indiana, after going back to their bread and butter play, the pick and roll with Williams and Person, decided to go to the other side of the floor and get the ball in Miller's hand, who hadn't touched it in a long time.
Just 22 seconds left. Indiana by 2. Dumars baseline left, driving on Williams. He is grabbed.
Maybe that works on a rookie. Or maybe it works on a 50% free throw shooter, but I doubt that the psych job works on Joe.
First free throw falls, and he looks at Reggie Miller.
He sure does. And they're still talking. Reggie doing most of the talking.
94-93. Joe Dumars has struggled tonight from the floor. He's 2 out of 10. But that's a big-time free throw. This one could tie it. Closing seconds at the Palace. Dumars bends the knees, eyes the rim, sends it and scores it. Indiana will take timeout. No more shot clock. 18.6 seconds to go. We are tied at 94. The Pistons and Pacers at the Palace on the Pistons Basketball Network. Person to Schrempf, who comes to get it against Worm. That left trying to hand it off to Michael Williams, really being overplayed, and they'll take a timeout. Orule. Yes. I thought they were going to rule that he had stepped over and come back, which he did not. It's a 20-second timeout, leaving Indiana with just 1 timeout left. The Pistons have 2 and a 20. Ever dreamed about traveling to watch the Pistons play in Chicago or Boston or maybe Indiana, or playing one-on-one against a Piston player, or going to the NBA Finals? Well, Budweiser and the Pistons can help you live the dream. Enter the Budweiser Pistons Dream Sweepstakes. Send a postcard with your name, address, age, social security number, and phone number. The Budweiser Pistons Dream Sweepstakes, 2 Championship Drive, Auburn Hills, Michigan, 48326. Then watch our telecast. We'll select the winner to live the dream. No purchase necessary. You must be 21 to enter and win. Now we have 10.4 seconds left. Indiana still with 1 timeout to go. And they'll try again. Person from midcourt again against Woolridge. Chuck Person looks, gets to Michael Williams. The hand back to Chuck Person. 8 seconds, now 7. Person between the rings, now back to the timeline. Starts the drive on Woolridge. Jump stops, foul line. Guns? No. Rebound Rodman, overtime. We're going to OT at the Palace. The Pistons stopped the Pacers' last drive. 94 all at the end of regulation. Overtime is next on the Pistons Basketball Network.
Tell you what, Dennis has been very close on 2 occasions this season of breaking that, and I think he'll get it here in this overtime period.
Pistons win the tap to start OT. Isiah against Reggie Miller. Takes it top of the key. Takes it foul line. Comes dotted line. Left corner dish to Dumars for the rainbow that goes. Joe D sticks it. Pistons 96, Pacers 94. That left Schrempf for Indiana. Right wing Person against Woolridge. In the lane, Miller. Left wing Williams. To the left baseline. High post Schrempf. Squaring up and gunning his dead left Schrempf. He got it. We're tied at 96 as they trade hoops in the first half a minute of OT.
Both teams showing no anxiety offensively in their first sets.
Isiah up the right side for the Pistons. Gets a Woolridge screen. Miller fights through it. Sideline left dish to Dumars. 22-footer. Yes! Now Joe's got the stroke. 98-96.
Pistons are 1-0 in overtime games this year. Indiana 2-4.
That left Schrempf topside. Ball batted away. Saved by Rodman. Picked up by Dumars. Pistons now have a 2-point lead in the ball. 3:40 left in OT. Isiah against Michael Williams. Right of the lane to Sally. Foul line to Joe D. Gunning doesn't get it. Rodman taps it, no. Sally taps it, yes.
Again, Rodman keeping it alive. How many times does he get his hands on the basketball?
Pistons by 4. Reggie Miller on top against Dumars for the Pacers, who now need 1. Mid-post bounce right side of Person against Woolridge. To the baseline, the hook, no. Reggie Miller's on the floor. Let's see, we got a whistle. A loose ball foul on Reggie Miller. says Jess Kersey. And with 3:04 to go in OT, the Pistons have the basketball in a 4-point lead. It's 100-96. Isiah right hands up the right side against Michael Williams. Isiah cuts baseline, now to the hoop. Gets a whistle and a foul. It's on Michael Williams, his third. Joe Dumars, who had struggled in regulation, was 2 for 10. Made 2 huge hoops to start OT, but why not? Don't the great ones step up when the game's on the line?
I was thinking just the same thing, George. He'd struggled all throughout. Had never found his stroke tonight from the field. But who's the guy that does the most damage right at the start of the overtime? And I always feel it's very important to get that first basket in overtime. Joe Dumars gets the first 2 for the Pistons.
Isiah, meantime, at the line, gets one and nails the next. 102-96, 2:50 to go in overtime. Pistons by 6. Michael Williams works Isiah baseline left, takes it to the rim, and he is fouled. And we're going to get a flagrant foul called on Dennis Rodman. Michael Williams is hurt. I think he got the wind knocked out of him more than anything else. Well, it took some courage to go up there. He knew he was going to get hit. Aguirre and Rodman were there, and Worm got him pretty good. Williams will shoot 2, and the Pacers will get the ball. Pistons 102, Pacers 96. The flagrant foul on Dennis Rodman gives the Pacers some new life. Michael Williams gets the first free throw to fall. It's 102-97. 4 fouls on Dennis Rodman, by the way. Michael Williams gets another. 102-98. Indiana will have the basketball, but first they'll take time. 2:44 left in OT at the Palace. The Pistons 102, the Pacers 98. Detlef Schrempf, Chuck Person, George McLeod, Michael Williams, and Dale Davis for Indiana. The Pistons with Isiah and Joe. Aguirre, Woolridge, and Rodman. Person for the Pacers, sideline left, the trigger, fresh 24. 102-98, Pistons in overtime. 2:40 to go in OT. Williams top of the key against Isiah. Foul line extended right to Person, down the lane, missed the scoop, drew the foul. Jess Kersey calls it on Dennis Rodman, that's 5. Well, Worm's numbers, 5 fouls, 9 points, and 31 rebounds. 2 short of the all-time Pistons single game mark held by Bob Lanier. Chuck Person at the line. First free throw on the way. He hits it. He can cut it to 2. No. Rebound Rodman. That's 32 Dennis Rodman rebounds. We're in overtime at the Palace, and the Pistons lead the Pacers 102-99. Joe Dumars works out against McLeod left wing. The dribble to the baseline, the cut inside. Detlef Schrempf the 2-time. Deep in the left to Isiah. Show and go on Williams. Down the lane of the hole. Takedown. Ball knocked away. Picked up by Rodman. When Isiah went down, there was no call. Now we'll have one. It is on Chuck Person. 4 on Person, and Isiah comes up limping. Dennis Rodman with a shot block and a rebound.
Detroit takes a 20-second timeout.
Has 33 rebounds. They're calling Isiah shot blocked, and Dennis Rodman pulling it off, his 33rd rebound. Two and 10 to go. 102-99.
With all the work that Dennis Rodman has done on the glass, you have to wonder how effective he'll be in will fatigue, in fact, play a part in these free throws right now, which the Pistons can really use.
Pistons took a 20 to give Dennis Rodman time to catch his breath. Worm at the line. Missed the first. Dennis Rodman has tied Bob Lanier's single-game rebound mark and has 33, tying Kevin Willis for the high rebound mark in the NBA this season. Got the second. 103-99. Pistons, 2:09 to go. Michael Williams to forecourt for Indiana, left wing. Darrell Walker has replaced a dead, tired Isiah.
2 minutes left in the first overtime.
Williams against Walker. Shot clock 10. Person with a screen. Williams to the elbow. Sends it and scores it. Walker went down on Person's pick. 103-101. A minute and 54 to go. Joe D to forecourt, spinning away from McLeod. Takes it to the lane. Scoops short. Scramble for it. Davis pulls it off. Rodman's tap that didn't go is rebound number 34 and is the all-time Pistons single-game rebounder. He has just broken Bob Lanier's record.
And has totally wiped out the single-game offensive rebound record. That was 13.
Dumars in the lane, missed it. Rodman tapped it outside, but Mark Aguirre stepped on the timeline. Jess Kersey making a call. Bill Spooner was closer. He now wants to talk it over with Jess. And now, the sign on the board says Dennis Rodman has just set a new Piston record for rebounds in a single game. Worm looked up and read it. And the emotional guy that he is, it brought tears to his eyes. You got to be happy for the hardest working player in the NBA. Dennis Rodman, the new single game Piston rebounder.
And on top of that, George, they get the basketball.
Spooner has overruled Kersey. And now Michael Williams and the Pacers want an explanation and won't get one. Shot clock now running at 16 as Dumars works on top against McLeod. Pistons by a deuce. Joe D on the right wing. Dumars top of the key. Dumars down the lane to the baseline on the right. Ball off Joe and out of bounds. His shot swatted back at him and off of him by Detlef Schrempf and out of bounds. And now Indiana will take timeout. All of that about Dennis Rodman's rebounds covers up the fact this game's on the line. 59 seconds left in overtime. Pistons by 2. Pacers ball. They take time. 59 seconds to go. Dennis Rodman has set the Pistons single-game rebound record with 34, but the game's still on the line. We're in overtime at the Palace. The Pistons by a deuce. 103-101. Michael Williams for Indiana. Right hands up the middle against Joe. And left Schrempf screens for him. Gets it back for the foul line. Pop, it drops. We're tied at 103.
Well, the Pistons had to make a decision. Are they going to let Williams go one-on-one or do they double? They decide to double, and Williams again makes the right decision, gives it up to Schrempf, who nails the jumper from the free throw line.
Detlef 10 for 14. Isiah against Michael Williams, top of the key. Drives him dotted line, leans to the hoop, scoops, scores, and a foul. What a sensational play by the captain, and Dale Davis is hit with a foul.
Oh, Isiah. Let me tell you, the little guy knows how to get inside and use his body. And that's what he gave Davis. All body first. When he got the contact in the whistle, he threw the basketball up with his left hand, got the glass, the kiss off, and it dropped through for the three-point opportunity. This game's been full of big plays by both teams.
Dale Davis is just fouled out. They have Schremp and Person and Williams and Miller and McLeod in the game. Isiah's at the line and he makes. Pistons by 3, 106-103. 34 seconds to go. Williams up the right side. Top side McLeod, left wing Person, sideline left to Schremp. Baseline drive on Sally, laying it up and in is Detlef Schremp. Sally, Rodman, Isiah, Joe, and Orlando for the Pistons, who now have a 1-point lead in the ball. 17 seconds to go in OT. Isiah just gets across the timeline and takes timeout. 106-105 Pistons. 16.1 seconds left in overtime. Pistons have 2 timeouts left. The Pacers have 1. 16.1 seconds to go in the first overtime. Pistons 106, Pacers 105. Bill Lanier checks in for the Pistons. It's Billy and Orlando, Mark McGuire, Isiah and Joe against Miller, Schremp, Michael Williams, McLeod, and Fleming. The Pistons have the ball in a 1-point lead.
Chuck gets Lane Beer in the game, who's been sitting for a long time, but knowing that Indiana has to foul someone, Chuck doesn't want to have Dennis Rodman on the game, on the line in this situation.
Mark McGuire from midcourt, triggers to Joe Dumars, sideline left, hit right now, fouled by McLeod. That's the guy you want to get to the line if you're Chuck Daly. Joe Dumars to shoot a pair, 14.7 seconds left. Pistons 106, Pacers 105. And now Sally and Worm will check in for Bill Lanier and Mark McGuire. Dumars bends the knees, eyes the rim. Here's the first. He fills it up.
He's 4 for 4 on the night from the free throw line.
14.7 seconds to go in OT. Pistons by a deuce, 107-105. One more for Joe. Up it goes. Down it goes. 108-105. Indiana takes its last timeout. 14.7 seconds to go in overtime. The Pistons 108. The Indiana Pacers 105. 108-105. The Pistons by 3. The Pacers with the ball. They're looking hard for another OT.
Yeah, and George, right now, they could conceivably take the basketball to the hole to get 2. Get a quick foul of the Pistons, stoppage of the clock, and hope for a missed free throw. Or they could opt to go ahead and take their 3 now.
They burned their last timeout. Person, Schremp, Miller, Williams, and McLeod against Walker, Dumars, Isiah, Woolridge, and Rodman. Person from midcourt, near side. Triggers to Williams between the rings. 12 seconds left. Pistons by 3. Person comes to get it topside, turns, forces the 3. Oh, just missed it. And he was fouled on the shot.
Boy, Orlando Woolridge just narrowly avoided a major disaster and major embarrassment. Fouling Chuck Person on a 3-point opportunity, and that ball very nearly went.
It had eyes. I thought he had it. He'll shoot 2 at the line. 7 seconds to go. Pistons dodge a bullet there from the rifleman. Chuck Connor Person with the first. He fills it. 108-106. Missed the next. Loose on the deck. Picked up by Dumars. And the Pistons take timeout. 4.4 seconds to go. Person missed on purpose, I believe. Kicked it hard off the back iron. It came away. They had a chance, but they don't pick up the ball. The Pistons take time, leading by a deuce. 4.4 seconds left in OT. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. George Blaha with Greg Kelser, our statisticians Joe Abramson and Eddie Rivera, and sportscaster Ron Grubbs at the Palace with 4.4 seconds left. The Pistons 108 and the Pacers 106. And the Pistons have the basketball in the closing seconds of the first overtime period. Pistons have one timeout left. The Pacers none. Triggering. Backcourt, near side, Mark Aguirre. Aguirre, Lambeer, Woolridge, Isiah and Joe. Against Miller, Person, McLeod, Schrempf, and Michael Williams. They're not going to guard Aguirre in the inbounds pass. Lambeer will come to get it. Walked right up to Mark, took the pass, and was hit with a foul. That was the only play the Pistons had with Person not even facing Mark Aguirre. Bill Lambeer walked, I wouldn't say he walked, he strolled over with some authority, got himself right up next to Aguirre and took the pass and drew the foul. Rodman for Aguirre.
Lambeer on the line. Has not attempted a free throw in this game.
3.3 seconds left. No timeouts for Indiana. Billy bends the knees, eyes the rim. It's on the way. He hits it.
That puts them in a position for no worse than a tie in a second overtime.
One more and school's out in overtime at the Palace. 3.3 seconds to go in OT. It's 109-106. Here's the second by Bill Lambeer. Yes! 110-106. Indiana to Schrempf. And at three-quarter court, Michael Williams is pushed and fouled by Isiah.
Isiah can't believe it. Chuck can't believe it. You know, in that particular situation, you just let them get it in and do whatever they're going to do, burn the clock, and it's over. Indiana cannot stop the clock anymore. The only thing that can stop it is a violation, and Indiana gets it on the foul.
Now Michael Williams will shoot a pair, 2.3 seconds left. Make one, miss the next, and somehow kick it out for a three-point try.
That's exactly, but it's going, they're going to need a lot of luck on this play. George, I think if it were me, I'd make both free throws and then cover up out of bounds very, very quickly and get another foul. Because you could burn the seconds you have remaining on a missed free throw just trying to claim a rebound. Never mind, get it out into the three-point area to get a three-point bomb.
Jess Kersey, Bill Spooner, and Ronnie Nunn now having a confab, as Ernie Harwell would say. Nice to know we're going to get to hear Ernie's golden tones around town, too. This summer on the CBS Major League Baseball broadcast. The confab continues.
Tell
And
you
now
what,
Chuck Daly and Bob Hill get involved with Kersey at the timeline.
This game has had an awful lot of caucusing between the officials and the two coaches.
We have 2.3 seconds showing on the clock. Jess Kersey over now to talk with the official scorer, Maury Moravnik.
One shot foul. Any player pursued it.
Oh, how about that? Now that's unusual.
The announcement by Ken Calvert that
It's a one-shot foul in which Indiana will shoot the free throw and get the basketball out. So they're going to shoot this free throw, George. If Williams is able to make it, then they'll take it out of bounds with an opportunity to tie it up.
he's 10 for 10. He just made it. Now it's 110-107, 2.3 seconds left.
But
They have two great three-point shooters in Person and Miller.
But they've got to come three-quarter length of the court to get it. They will not be allowed to take it out at midcourt.
Chuck Daly gets Spider Sally in for Bill Lambier. Sally, Woolridge, Joe. Isiah and Dennis Rodman against McLeod, Williams, Schremp, Miller, and Person. Backcourt, near side. McLeod will trigger over Worm. McLeod looking long, lobs it to Person, gets through him, left corner, and out of bounds. Out of bounds with less than a second now up on the clock.
That really helps the Pistons because Person was their worst option. They had Miller open, they had Williams open.
And they'll put a little bit more time up on the clock, but it shouldn't matter. 1.2 seconds left in overtime. Chuck Daly's going to make sure about all of this. He'll take timeout. 110-107 Pistons. Pistons 110, Pacers 107. Closing seconds of the first overtime. Chuck Daly took a security timeout to make sure it's the last overtime. Pistons triggering from midcourt. Mark Aguirre will pull the trigger. Does to Dumars. Joe gets away, and they can't foul him in time. The horn sounds, and the Pistons win a war against Indiana. 110-107, the final score in overtime on the night that Dennis Rodman broke Bob Lanier's single-game rebound record. He pulled down 34, one more than the Daubers Piston all-time record. Now Dennis Rodman is the all-time Pistons single-game rebounder. And for the first time this season, the Pistons are 10 up on 500. The final in OT, the Pistons 110, the Pacers 107.